What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have the first This Week at Bungie of 2023. Of course, we've also had a game update this week with a few changes. They do touch on some of those in the TWAB, but they also talk about Grandmaster Nightfalls and some changes to the playlist. GMs will be returning on the 17th of January. And then they talk about the future of Iron Banner, and there are actually going to be some changes in the upcoming season. And so we'll cover that as well. Then they talk about changes coming for focusing for weapons and armor next week, the development of RoboDog in Season 19, and a couple of other things which we'll break down in the video. So, as always guys, I hope you enjoy this one, but without further delay, let's get into it. And they say initially, Happy New Year, Guardians, and welcome to the first TWAB of the year. Between Moments of Triumph, Iron Banner Fortress, Revision 0, and the rest of Season 19, there's been a lot going on. But we want to make sure you have all the deadlines you need before season wraps up in 47 days. And so initially, Grandmaster Nightfalls will kick off on January 17th, that's next Tuesday, with the next Iron Banner for the season dropping on January 31st. And to point out as well that the final week of Season 19 is February 21st. But for Grandmaster Nightfalls, they say there are some updates here, and as a preview of some of the changes coming to GMs in Lightfall, when Grandmasters launch on January 17th, we're making the following power adjustments. And so they've decreased the power level needed to enter Grandmasters by 25, and so that's at 1580 now, which is the powerful cap. They've also decreased the overall power level of Grandmaster activities by 10, so that's at 1620. And they also say that the current power difference of minus 25, which makes all enemies at least 25 power above you, is still in effect. But obviously we've got a reduction there to the actual level requirement, but also to the power level of the activity itself. And this means you can enter at 1580, but enemies will be 40 power above you, and you can use the artifact power or pinnacle drops to increase effectiveness up to 1595, and that's where we reach maximum effectiveness. And they say we'll have more information on further changes to GMs and other high difficulty modes coming soon. And so, obviously with them suggesting that additional changes are coming in Lightfall, they've thrown in that other high difficulty modes will see similar changes. It looks like this may be a bit of a trend for the endgame content, which may make them a bit more accessible, but it also looks like Bungie are kind of focusing on reducing the grind even for existing players going into those kind of activities. So we'll see what additional changes they have and give us your thoughts in the comment section. But next they speak about the Iron Banner, and they say after 2.5 seasons of playing new Iron Banner, experiencing 3 new modes, we've gathered a lot of feedback and have some upcoming changes to share. And so when Iron Banner returns on January 31st, we're planning on increasing the amount of Iron Banner rank you can earn at the end of matches, doubling the multipliers you get from wearing Iron Banner gear, and halving the multipliers you get for completing challenges, and significantly increasing the multiplier you get for wearing an Iron Banner emblem. We expect this to decrease the number of games needed to earn a rank reset by around 40% and make it more worthwhile to play earlier in the week. And so overall that is a fairly significant change. Some of it still requires a little bit of investment, wearing the gear and the emblem and stuff, but it would definitely be easier to get rank resets and pick up some of the things like the shader this season. But they go on to say that additionally, starting next season, Iron Banner will be available 3 times in a season, and an Iron Banner emblem will be available on the rewards track during the first reset for those who don't already have one. We'll have more information about the modes and dates to expect in Season 20 as we get closer to launch, but I think that's another big positive, and I think most players have said that they'd like to see Iron Banner 3 times a season again. And so that's a good change starting in Season 20. And next up in the TWAB, they say you get all the mods, and you get all the mods. Yesterday, all standard armor mods were unlocked for everyone, and with big changes coming to Buildcrafting in Lightfall, we want to give everyone a chance to enjoy all of the standard mods in their current state for the rest of the season. Standard mods refer to everything but raid and artifact mods. And players who are granted access to armor mods in yesterday's patch will not have them appear as unlocks in collections, but they can use them freely in their armor. So, in case you were wondering about that, some of the mods are still on sale at vendors. They're also still listed in collections, but all of them have actually been unlocked inside of the mod selection on Armor Pieces itself. And they finish here by saying we have a blog post planned for next week with more information on how mods and Buildcrafting all up will be evolving in Lightfall, so stay tuned. That's something to look forward to for sure, and it looks like the rollout of pre-expansion info is going to begin very shortly. Here though they say stay focused, and starting next week we're making the following changes to the cost of focusing weapons and armor. And so focusing costs for all Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Crucible and Gambit weapons and armor will be reduced to 25 legendary shards, which is down from 50. And then Adept weapon focus costs will be reduced to 50, which is down from 250. And finally, the glimmer cost of focusing regular ritual weapons has been reduced to 5,000, down from 10,000. And so a good few changes there to focus in on different vendors, and they say they're making these changes to make focusing gear more available to players, especially newer players who haven't been saving up Scrooge McDuck piles of legendary shards over the years. And so we'll be able to try out these new costs next week by visiting the vendors, with the exception of Saladin, of course, who will return on January 31st. Here though, Bungie speak about the dog in the helm. Of course, we're talking about the mechanical dog. And they say each season we spend some time brainstorming little Easter eggs, and for this season, everyone wanted to build a robot dog, but it wasn't that easy. After the team came up with the idea, the first question was, can I pet it? And we knew the answer had to be yes, so we quickly performed this interesting test to confirm that petting the dog was indeed possible. And initially, the dog started out right here as a crouched human character, or a human form at least. But with that tested, they say the next question was, what will the dog look like? And so we see the concept art for the doggo right here for the first time. And after a bit of work, the good boy was ready to go. And we see that final version right here in Helm. But they finish by saying, we know a lot of you really like Archie and are concerned about the future. They are leaving the Helm at the end of the season, but they will be returning to the tower in season 21 for more pets. So unfortunately, our good friend there will be heading away at the end of this season. But very interestingly, returning in season 21, that's the season after Lightfall. So then that's going to drop in May or something like that. Very curious as to why the mechanical dog would return then. Maybe it's linked to new content, maybe there's some other changes planned for the tower. I'd love to get your speculation about it down below. But finally, for the TWAB itself, there are some known issues, and they say the push the objective Crucible bounty gains progress inconsistently at the moment. There's also an issue where players are unable to crouch after acquiring the first scanner augment in Operation Seraph Shield, and this can be resolved by entering and exiting a menu or remapping keys. There's also a problem where players who don't own Beyond Light are unable to reach the security drone above the ziggurat on Europa, and that's blocking completion of the Seraph title. There's another issue where Iron Banner armor doesn't count for progress towards the Gunner's Seal triumph required for the Iron Banner title. And they're investigating an increase in Centipede error codes, plus a couple of other things, but for the moment that does it for the bulk of the TWAB. Additionally though, today there are a few patch notes from the recent hotfix that we didn't cover. So on Wednesday we got hotfix 6303, and some of the top changes include for armor that the Unstoppable Hand Cannon perk now activates more quickly and no longer plays its audio cue when using a non-hand cannon weapon. So a bit less of a delay in getting that to proc. And on top of that, they say the Energy Diffusion substrate mod now correctly stacks up to 3 times. The Candescent armor sets will now appear correctly in the appearance customization screen, and Crown of Tempest will no longer provide ability energy when using a non-arc subclass. Then for weapons, they fixed a problem where Wish Ender's additional hits were disabled when the anti-barrier bow mod was equipped. So it's good that that one's fixed, but also they resolved an issue where Kill Clip wasn't correctly being refreshed when already active. An additional issue where Revision Zero's weapon glint wasn't consistently visible when in alternate high damage mode. And then they resolved a problem where rapid fire shotguns didn't have the intended bonus reserves, one where Jade Rabbit's exotic perk applied its damage buff to all outgoing damage, and another one where lights on the Witherhoard's exotic ornament drowned in strife operated in reverse, and they were lighting up when the weapon was empty, but now they light up when the weapon is full. Additionally, they say that Zerm will now sell the V103 version of the Ikelos weapons, rather than the V102 versions that he sold before. If I'm not mistaken, the 103 versions are actually the Seraph ones that we have right now. And so if that's true, Zer could sell an incandescent shotgun or the Voltshot SMG technically, which definitely sounds pretty wild. We'll have to wait and see. But then in the Heist Battlegrounds, they fixed an issue where the game would crash when depositing an arc charge while the boss is immune in Heist Battlegrounds. Another issue where players couldn't join in progress during boss encounters in the playlist, and they fixed a problem where the legend node would sometimes display incorrect activity details such as matchmaking. So presumably that doesn't have matchmaking. And they also say they fixed a problem where the Devil's Lair strike boss didn't count as a fallen boss for certain objectives. On top of that, there was a problem where the rank reputation booster icon for Gambit would not display on activity launch screens. And then for the Crucible, they fixed a problem that caused promotion and relegation series director dialogues to display at the wrong time. And on top of that, they reduced reduced the round score limit in Showdown to 10 from 15, and they adjusted the match score limit for 3v3 Rift and Survival to 3 rounds to win. So a couple of little quality of life changes there. They also say they adjusted the quitter penalty system to be more lenient before triggering the quitter warning message and suspension timer, and they fixed problems where the Season 9 competitive Crucible and Iron Banner matches were missing from Bungie.net game history. So mainly bug fixes right there, but a mixed bag of changes after a bit of downtime over the holiday period. And so give us any thoughts on those, as well as the stuff that Bungie have spoken about in the TWAB today. Lightfall is fast approaching. We're only like a month and a half, less than that, I believe, until the new expansion. So pretty exciting times, and definitely get subscribed to the channel right here if you want to see more Destiny content. If you've enjoyed the video today though, a rating below really does help us out. And once again, give us your thoughts on the changes this week in the comment section. But otherwise, thank you as always for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.